Hi, I'm Karin. I'm an occupational therapist here at Kootenai Health, and today I'm going to show you all how to do some fall and prevention exercises. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some breathing. A lot of us forget to breathe when we exercise, so I'd like you to first start out by just taking some deep breaths in through your nose and blow it out of your mouth. Okay, so we're going to start kind of at the top here. We're going to do some stretches. I'm going to just have you turn your head from side to side, nice and slow. Kind of stretch those neck muscles out a little bit. And then back. Bring your chin down. Back, down. Okay, and we're going to move down to our shoulders. Just loosen up those shoulders a little bit. Do some shoulder shrugs. Forward. And then back. Okay, I'm going to have you bring your hands up on your shoulders and just kind of do some elbow circles. Forward. And then go back. Okay, now I'm going to have you pretend like you're swimming in a pool, and you're just going to kind of do a stroke in a pool and turn your head from side to side and get those arms moving. Okay, I'm going to stand up, and if you can, make sure you have a chair that has a back to it so that you can kind of hang on to it if you need to. And what we're going to do here is we're going to stand, and we're going to kind of stretch some of these trunk muscles. So put your legs shoulder width apart, and I just want you to come up like this and bring one arm down the side of your leg and really stretch this trunk out right here. Give it a nice stretch. And come up on the other side. And then one more time on each side. Okay, now we're going to come down to your hips. This exercise or this stretch you can either do standing or sitting. In the sitting position, you can kind of bring your knee up like that and give your hip a nice stretch. If you want to do it standing, you can hold the back of the chair like this and bring your leg up and give that hip a nice stretch. And then on the other side. And again, you can do it sitting. So let's do it one more time on each side. If you need to sit. And then again on the other side. Okay. This next stretch, we're going to stretch out these hamstring muscles on the back of your legs. If you can, put your legs shoulder width apart and bend your knees a little bit. And I want you to come down slowly and try to touch the floor. If you can't do that, you can always use the chair and just come down part way, like this. If you can touch the floor, try to touch the floor and walk your fingers back. And count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your fingers forward. And I want you to come up nice and slow. Don't come up too quickly. And take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Remember to breathe. We don't want to hold our breath when we're exercising. And let's do that stretch one more time. Again, legs shoulder width apart. You bend your knees a little bit. And if you can only come down part way and touch the chair, that's okay. If you can go down all the way, that's great too. Walk your fingers back. We'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walk your fingers forward and come up nice and slow. Take some nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, and while we're standing here, make sure you have access to the back of that chair so you can hang on to that chair for balance if you need to. Kick one leg out and you're just going to do an ankle roll. You're just going to roll that ankle around in a circle. And then go the other way. You can do 10 circles. Okay, and we'll do the other leg. 10 circles one way. And then the other way. Okay, this next stretch, we're going to stretch out your calves a little bit. So I want you to put one leg forward, bend that knee a little bit and come forward so you're stretching this leg that's behind you. You feel a little stretch in that calf. And again, if you need to hang on to your chair here, go ahead and do that for balance. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can kind of let go, but you know, if you kind of start to feel yourself wiggling, just grab a hold of the back of that chair. You want to stretch that calf. Okay, and then we want to do the other side. And again, if you can let go, kind of challenge yourself a little bit with that, with your balance. If not, make sure that back of that chair is there to hang on to. Okay, this next one we're going to do, I'm going to have you come up on your toes like this. And if you can, challenge yourself a little bit and let go with your hands. But if you need the back of that chair to hang on to, just make sure it's there. And we'll count to 10. And come down. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then up on your toes again. And if you can't get to 10, that's okay. If you can only get to 3 or 5, that's okay too. So you could just be up 1, 2, 3 and come back down, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just kind of do whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do, we're just going to march in place. And if you can, do it without hanging onto the chair, that would be good. You can kind of swing your arms a little bit. Just march in place. And if you can march forward and back, you could do that a few times. If you can just march in place, and if you need to hang on to the back of that chair, that's okay too. March forward again and back. Okay, if you need to stop, take a couple of deep breaths. Remember to breathe. A lot of us tend to hold our breath when we exercise, so make sure you're breathing. Okay, so what I'd like to do next is have you march again, but this time I'm going to have you tap your knees as they come up. And if you need to hang on to the chair, just use one hand, and you can alternate tapping back and forth. Okay, let's go ahead and stop and take a break and drink some water. This next part of our exercise class here, we're going to use some resistant band. If you don't have any resistive band at home, I'm going to show you some things that you can use at home. Most of you have canned items at home, so these smaller cans weigh about 1 pound each, so you can use those as weights. These teeny tiny ones are about 1/4 pound. This jar of spaghetti sauce, maybe you might have Prego or Ragu at home. These are about 2 pounds. And this 1/2 gallon of milk weighs about 4 pounds. So a full gallon of milk will be about 8 pounds. So if you only have half of your milk left, this would be about 2 pounds. So I'm doing some math for you. So if you do have the resistant band, I'm going to go through all these exercises showing you how to do them with the resistive band or using some items from your kitchen cabinet at home. So if you do have the resistant band, kind of step on it with your feet here. And we're going to do what's called a bicep curl. So you're just going to bring your arms up like this. And see if you can do anywhere between 5 and 10 repetitions. If you can't do both at the same time, just do one side and then the other side. You can also use the cans. So these each weigh 1 pound, and you can kind of just do this, or you can use the jar of spaghetti sauce, weighs 2 pounds. So let's go through, and we'll do 10 repetitions. 2, 3, 4, 10. Take a rest. And we're going to do 3 sets of 10. So that was one set. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, we're going to do our second set of 10. 10. Take a rest. And if you're feeling really strong, we can go to the 1/2 gallon, the 4 pound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's take some deep breaths. The next exercise we're going to target these tricep muscles on the back of your arm. We don't tend to use those muscles a whole lot, but they're very important for when you push yourself to get up from a chair. Those are the muscles that you need. So it's important that you keep those strong. So if you've got some band, kind of grab part of it and put it under your chin. And you're going to pull down. We'll do 10 repetitions. Okay, and if you don't have the band, grab one of your cans. You're going to put it up behind you like this, and you're just going to pull it up. Okay, take a breather. We're going to do 3 sets of 10 on each side, so that was 2 sets. And I'm going to alternate back and forth from using the band and a can. So let's do our 3rd set on the right side here. Okay, take some deep breaths. All right, and we're going to move over to the left side. So with the can or with your band, we'll do 10 on the left side. Take some deep breaths. Okay, we're going to do 10 more, our 2nd set of 10 on the left side. Okay, take some deep breaths. All right, we're going to do our 3rd set on the left side. Okay, kind of shrug your shoulders, shrug it out a little bit. This next exercise, you can either do it sitting or standing. We'll try it standing. I'm going to have you grab your band here. You're just going to put your arms straight out in front, and you're just going to pull like this. We're going to do 10. Okay, take some deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And if you don't have the band, use the cans. Just put the cans straight out in front of you. Go like this. We'll do 10, 3, Okay, I think that was our third set. All right, let's take some deep breaths. And I think we'll take a quick water break before we move on to our next section. Well, we're going to kind of do some fun activities. The next activity we're going to try and do some fun stuff standing up. Some of you may have these exercise balls at home. For those of you who have participated in the Fit and Fall classes here at the hospital, we've used these balls. Most of us probably don't have these at home. I know I don't have them at home, so you can go ahead and grab 2 little cans, okay? And make sure your legs are about shoulder width apart. Put your hands in front of you like this and just kind of do a figure 8. And try to just move your arms, not your whole body like this. You just want to move your arms in a figure 8. And we'll do 10 figure 8s like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then kind of shrug your shoulders out a little bit. Take some deep breaths. And if you are struggling with your balance a little bit, you can use the back of that chair to hold on to and just use one arm. So we'll go ahead and go the other way. Oops, we'll go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and shrug your shoulder out a little bit. And if you are having to use the back of the chair, as you're doing this, try to let go every once in a while. It'll challenge your balance a little bit. But it's just nice to have that there just in case. Okay. We'll do that again using the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shrug your shoulders out a little bit. And if you are just using the one side, we did the left side, now we'll do the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, if you are having to hold on to the back of that chair, try to let go every once in a while to kind of challenge yourself a little bit. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'd like to show you, you'll need a counter. I suggest using your kitchen counter or a table. If you have a long table, just make sure the chairs are out of the way so you're not stumbling around chairs. But the reason why I want you to have a table is so that you can kind of lean on it if you need to. Back of a couch also works well. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do a heel to toe step. Okay, so you're going to put your heel in front of your toe like this and make sure you have that counter there or a stable surface to hang on to. And I want you to try and look straight ahead. Don't look down at your feet, okay? And use this table, counter, or the back of the couch, whatever you're using, to kind of just touch in case you need to for your balance, okay? And you can turn around and walk the other way. And again, kind of let go, and you want to look straight ahead. Don't look down at your feet. Use that counter, table, back of the couch if you need to kind of hang on to. And remember to try and look straight ahead. And don't feel that you have to go quickly. You can go slower if you need to, so you can focus. And if you really want to challenge yourself, you can try and go backwards. But go very slowly. And use that, again, use that counter or table to kind of hang on to if you need to. And forward. Make sure you're touching your heel with your toe, no cheating. And we'll go backwards. And try not to look down at your feet. Try to look straight ahead. And backwards. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths. The next one we're going to do is called the Grapevine. If you've ever been to a wedding, I'm sure that you've done that on the dance floor, probably. So again, counter, tabletop, back of a couch. Just make sure you've got a stable surface that you can kind of touch if you need to. So you're going to face the counter or the table, and you can kind of touch your fingertips on the table, and you're going to bring your feet under and over. And if you can, try to do it without touching the table, but if you need to have one hand or both hands on the counter, please do. And try to look straight ahead, if you can, when you're doing this. Okay. The next activity that we're I'm going to have you do, you're going to need a balloon. If you can find a balloon, have somebody blow up a balloon for you. And I want you to put a chair in front of a wall like this, so you've got that back of that chair to hang on to if you need to. If you can find somebody to hit this back and forth with, that would be great. If you're home alone, you can use a wall. I suggest using a blank wall. Hitting it on a wall with pictures will kind of make the balloon go in all different directions. So kind of want it to just be a flat wall. So you've got your chair here. You can kind of hang on to that. And you're just going to hit the ball on the wall like this. And if you can, let go of the chair to kind of work on some of that balance. Make sure your legs are shoulder width apart. And you're just going to kind of hit that balloon on the wall there, back and forth. Kind of let go of the chair to kind of work on that balance a little bit. And if you are real brave, and if your balance is pretty good, you can alternate back and forth with each arm. Again, if you need to hang on to that chair, please do so. That's okay. You can let go periodically to work on that balance a little bit. Just going to hit that balloon back and forth. Use both hands if you can. All right, and that's the end of our session today. If you have any other questions, you can get more information at kh.org.